Hello friend, today we are going to discuss about ISO 19011-2018, that is guideline for auditing management system. This is the third edition of ISO 19011 that published in July 2018. In this content we are going to explain about what are the clauses in ISO 19011-2018 version, that is 7 clauses, class 1 to 7 we are going to explain in detail. And second is principles of auditing. What are the 7 principles of auditing management system, and what are the types of audit, that is first party, second party, third party, we are going to explain in details. And what are the competency of auditors and auditee, and how to conduct the opening and closing meetings, and what are the risk based approach in auditing planning, we are going to discuss in details. First, what is the ISO? Actually, ISO is Greek word that meaning is equal. That Greek word is isos, ISOS. That meaning is equal. ISO is International Organization for Standardization, that is worldwide federation of national standard bodies, that's ISO member bodies. And standard is written by the technical committee, that ISO TC. And this document was prepared by project committee, that ISO PC 302, that guidelines for auditing management system. This is the third edition of ISO 19011-2018 that replaced and cancelled the second edition, which was published in 2011, which is technically revised. Now the main differences compared to second edition are additions of risk-based approach, that is in principles of auditing and planning, and next is expansions of guidance on managing and audit programs, including audit program risk also. Next is expansions of the guidance on conducting an audit, particularly the sections on audit planning. Next is expansions of generic competency requirement for auditors and auditee boards. And forward is next is adjustment of terminology to reflect the process, not the object, that is in terminology differences, means terminology now revised. Next is removal of the annexure containing competency requirement for auditing specific management system discipline. Now it would not practical to include competency requirement for all disciplines. In introductions, actually ISO 19011, we need to first learn about the history of ISO 19011. In history of ISO 19011, that first actually it is earlier of ISO 19011, it was Quality and Environment Auditing Guideline, which first edition published in 1990. That is ISO 10011 first. It was later renumbered to ISO 19011. ISO 10011 is renumbered to ISO 19011. That first edition is published in 2002. This first edition was of ISO 19000 was published and consolidated guidance of auditing both quality and environmental management system into a single and generic standard, that is ISO 19011. Now ISO 19011 second edition, which was published in 2011, is a revision of ISO 19011 that published in 2002, incorporated user feedback and aligning the other ISO standard, including expanded guidance on managing audit program and conducting audits. Next edition is ISO 19011-2018, that is third edition, that is the latest version actually of ISO 19011, was published in July 2018. This revision introduced the significant changes like integrating risk-based approaches into auditing principles, and further expanding guidance on audit program management system, and refining requirement of auditor competency and performance evaluation. These are the requirements added in ISO 19011-2018 editions. An audit can be conducted against a range of audit criteria, separately or combinations. These are the some requirements we are going to discuss in classes in detail, but in introduction we need to explain this also. Requirement defining in one or more management system. What are the requirement? What are the policy? These are the criteria actually. What are the requirement of management system? What are the policy requirements of interested party, statutory and regulatory requirement? One or more managing systems processes defined by the organization or other parties. And next is management system plan relating to provision of specific output of management system, that is quality plan, projects plans. And these documents provide guidance for all size and type of organization and audits of varying scope and scale. This document valid for actually for first party and second party audit, and for external audit that is also useful, that is third party audit is useful other than certification audits. Now this document concentrated on internal audits that already explained, first party, and audit conducted by organization or external provider or other external interested party, that is second party audit, means customer and supplier audit. And this document also useful for external audit conducted for the purpose other than certification audit. And this document can provide useful additional guidance for third party. And different types of audit: first party audit, that is internal audit conducted by organization itself, and second party audit is external provider audit, that is other external interested party, that is between two organizations, that is customer supplier audits. Next is third party audit, that is certification audit or accreditation audit, or statutory and regulatory or similar audit is comes in third party audit. Next is this document is combined audit approach when two or more management system of different disciplines are audited together, and this document provide a guidance on management of audit program and planning, conducting of management system audit, as well as competency evaluation of auditor and auditee, as earlier explained. Now we are going to discuss about the clauses of ISO 19011-2018. These are the structures of ISO 19011-2018, means total 7 clauses in ISO 19011-2018. First clause is scope. What are the scope of ISO 19011-2018 certifications, and what are the normative references, that is second clause. And third is terms and definitions, and fourth clause is principles of auditing management systems, and fifth clause is managing an audit program, and sixth clause is conducting an audit, and seventh clause is competence and evaluations of auditors. We are going to explain one by one each clauses in details. First is scope. Actually this document provides guidance on auditing management system, including principles of auditing, managing an audit program, conducting and management system audit, as well as guidance on evaluation of competency of individual involved in audit process. Next, it is applicable to all organizations that need to plan and conduct internal and external audit of management system or manage an audit program. Means this document is for external and internal audits. Next is this applicable documents to other types of audit is possible, provided that a special consideration is given to a specific competence needed. Second clause is normative references. There are no normative references in this document. Actually, this document have no normative references. And class number third, that is terms and definitions. These terms and definitions are uses in during the auditing management system during the auditings. The first terms is actually audit. What is audit? Audit is systematic, independent and documented process for obtaining objective evidence and evaluating it objectively to determine the extent to which the audit criteria are fulfilled. Means systematic, independent, documented, carried out process to determine the extent of which audit criteria are fulfilled is known as audit. That is first party audit, that is internal audit, sometimes called is first party audit, conducted by or on behalf of organization itself only. Next is external audit, that conducted by the second or third party audits, second party, that is between two organizations, and third party audits are conducted by parties having an interest in organizations such as customer or other individual on their behalf, and third party audits are conducted by independent auditing organizations such as those providing certification and registration of conformity or governmental agencies. Means first party audit is conducted by organization itself, second party is between two organizations, and third party is for external organization, that is for certification, means of certification or registration purpose. Next is combined audit. Audit carried out together as a single auditee. At a single auditee, by a single auditee, audit carried out on two or more management systems, means two or more management system, audit carried out at a single auditee, as a single auditee or audit auditees or audit clients that conducted by two or management systems, means ISO 19011, ISO 14 or some other audits is conducted, like certification audit, like customer audit along with ISO 19011 is conducted, that is combined audit. Or ISO 9001 audit conducted by the some other organization, and ISO 14 is conducted by some other clients or organizations by other organizations, that both are carried out by the single auditee, governed by single auditee, that is combined audit. When two or more discipline specific management system are integrated into single management system, like ISO 9001 combined plus ISO 1445 is combined together, means disciplines are integrated into a single management system, that is integrated management system, ISO 9001 plus ISO 14, ISO 45. These three requirements combined in a one management system, that becomes integrated management system. Next is joint audit. Audit carried out a single auditee by two or more auditing organizations. Okay, that is joint. Joint means one audit conducted by one organization and other audit conducted by other organization. Both are jointly governed by the single auditee, that is joint audit. Auditing program. Auditing programs, that is arrangement for a set of one or more audit plan for a specific time period and directed towards a specific purpose, that is audit program. Audit scope, actually extent or boundary of audit. What are the boundaries or scope of audit or extent of the audit? Why this audit is conducted? And the audit scope generally included a descriptions of physical and virtual location, functions, organization unit, activity, process, as well as time period covers. Okay. Next is manufacturing of sheet metal stamping, like rubber molding product. These are the scopes of audit. And a virtual location is where an organization performs work or provides a service using an online environment, allowing the individual, irrespective of physical location, to execute processes. Next is audit plan. Descriptions of activity and arrangement for an audit, that is audit plan. Audit criteria, actually Audit criteria is set of requirement used as a reference against which objective evidence is compared. Means what are the evidences you are collected that compare with audit criteria? What are the criteria? That criteria may be legal requirement, that is statutory or regulatory requirements, or compliance, not compliance, what uses in that direction. And next is requirement may include just policy, procedure requirement, work instruction, legal requirement, or contractual obligation requirement. These are the audit criteria: policy, procedures, and work instruction, legal requirement, or contractual obligation requirements. These are the audit criteria. Next is objective evidence. Objective evidence is data supporting the existence or verified of some things. Mean that can be verifiable. That is objective evidence. Objective evidence can be obtained through observations, measurement, test, or by means. Objective evidence for the purpose of audit generally consists of records, statements, facts, or other information. Means it can be information, it can be observation, it can be statement, it can be records. These are the objective evidences. Audit criteria, objective evidences, these are clear now. And audit scope is also clear. Next, audit evidences. Now, what records or statement of fact or informations that are relevant to audit criteria and verifiable, that are the audit evidences. Means what record we are collected during the audit, that is audit evidences. Next is audit findings. Results of the evaluation of the collected audit evidences against audit criteria. Audit criteria is policy, procedure, legal requirement, and work instruction requirement, and other contractual requirement. That is audit criteria. Audit finding, that is results of evaluation of the collected evidences. Audit evidences. What evidences you are collected? That is record, statement of fact, or other information. And audit finding indicated conformity or non-conformity. If requirement are fulfilled or audit findings are fulfilled the audit criteria, that is conformity. If not fulfilled, that is non-conformity. Audit finding can lead the identification of risk, opportunity for improvement, or recording good practices. Next is if audit criteria are selected from the statutory or regulatory requirement, that findings in terms as compliance or not. If term requirement are fulfilled, the audit criteria, evidences or audit findings are fulfilled the audit criteria, that terms as compliance. If not fulfilled, that turns into non-compliances. Audit conclusions. Actually, outcome of an audit after consideration of the audit objective and all audit findings, that are audit conclusions. What outcomes of an audit? What are the consideration of the audit objective and audit's findings? What are the findings of audit? That comes in audit conclusion. Audit clients, actually that is the organization or person that requesting an audit. That actually that's audit conducted. Note, in case of internal audits, the audit client can also be the auditee or the individual managing the audit program. Audit clients can also be the auditee or individual in case of internal audit. Means internal audit, like one departments are auditors to other department, or one process owners are auditing other process audits. That can be auditee also. Next is requesting the external audit can come from source such as regulators, contracting party, or potential or existing clients. Next is auditee. Organization or whole of parts specific being audited, that is auditee. Audit team, one or more persons conducting an audit, that supported if needed by technical experts, that is audit team. One auditor of the audit team is appointed as audit team leader, that is lead auditor. And the audit team can include auditors in training. Auditors, person who conduct an audit, that is auditor. Next is technical expert. Auditors are audit persons who provides specific knowledge or expertise to the audit team, whole audit team. That is technical expert. Specific knowledge or expertise related to organization, activity, process, product, service, discipline to be audited, or language or culture. A technical expert to the audit team does not act as an auditor. Observer, individual who accompanies the audit team but does not act as auditor. This is observer. Next is management system. What is the definitions of management system? Set of interrelated or interacting elements of an organization to establish policy, objective, processes to achieve those objectives. Means to establish policies, objectives and processes to achieve those objectives, that is management system. A management system can address single discipline or several discipline, just like quality management system, financial management system, environment management system and occupational health and safety management system. Next is management system element establish the organization structure, role, responsibility, planning, operation, policy, practice rule and rules, beliefs, objective and processes to achieve those objectives. Next is scope of management system can include whole of the organization, specific identifications and functions of the organization. What are more managed functions across a group of organization? What is the risk? I already make a video on risk management and risk based thinking approach, and in ISO 19011, in ISO 9001 and IATF 16949, I already make a video on risk management system and what are the risk based thinking, how we can manage the risk, what are the effect of the if risk is positive, what are the adverse effect of the risk. We have already make a video and I will provide a link on this video after this video in the descriptions, so that you can see the detail about risk based thinking. Effect of uncertainty, that is risk. An effect is maybe deviation from the expected outcome, that is positive or negative. If it is positive, it is the opportunity for us. If it is negative, then is we need to take corrective action to minimize the risk. Uncertainty in the state, even partial or deficiency of information related to understanding knowledge of an event, its consequences and likelihood. Risk is often characterized by the reference to potential event or consequences. Next is risk is often expressed in terms of combination of consequences of an event and the associated likelihood. What is the conformity? Conformity means the fulfillment of a requirement. A requirement or a standard that we fulfill their requirements. That is conformity. And non-fulfillment of a requirement, that is non-conformity. Competence, that is ability to apply knowledge and skill both to achieve the intended outcome or results, that is competence. And requirements, that needs or expectations, that is stated, generally implied or obligatory. Generally implied means that is custom or common practices for organization and interested parties. Processes, I already make a video on process approach, that is in ISO 9001 and IATF 16949 2016. We will provide a link. We can see about detail in what are the process approach. What is the process? Set of interrelated or interacting activities that use input to deliver an intended result. Means set of interrelated or interacting activities that convert input into output or deliver an intended result. That is process. Performance, that is measurable results. Performance can related either to quantitative or qualitative. Next, what is effectiveness? Effectiveness and efficiency already explained in ISO 9001 2000 15 and IATF 16949 2016. What are the efficiency and effectiveness? Effectiveness, that is extent to which planned activity are realized and planned result achieved, means result achieved, target achieved, means plan versus actual, that is effectiveness. But efficiency is, that is output into input. For that output, what input are uses, what resources we are using, that is efficiency. Next is principles of auditing management system, that is class number 4. What are the principles? First principle is integrity, second is fair presentation, third is due professional care, and fourth is confidentiality, and fifth is independence, and sixth is evidence based approach, and seventh is risk based approach. I already make a video on principles of auditing management system in details. We can see, and I provide the link in description box, and you can see in details. First is integrity. First principle is integrity. Integrity means the foundation of professionalism, means auditors and the individual managing an audit program that should consider the perform their work with ethically and honesty and responsibility. Integrity means they should perform their work ethically with honesty and responsibility, means only undertake audit activity if competent to do so, and perform their work in an impartial manner, that is remain fair and unbiased, that is integrity. Means during audit we should perform their work as ethically, with honesty, responsibility and impartial manner. Next is fair presentation, that is obligation to report the truthfully and accurately, means that audit presentation should be truthfully and accurately, means audit finding, audit conclusion, audit report should reflect truthfully and accurately the audit activities. Next is due professional care, that is application of diligence and judgment in auditing, that is professional care, due professional care, that is auditors should exercise due professional care in accordance with the importance of the task they perform and confidence placed in them by the audit clients and other interested parties. An important factor carrying out their work with due professional care is having the ability to make reasoned judgment in all audit situations, means we should maintain the judgment based on reason, based on data. Next is confidentiality, that is security of information, means during the audit evidence collections and information collection we should maintain the security of information, that these information should not be disclosed any others, and audit information should not be used inappropriate for personal gain by the auditors or the audit clients in a manner of detrimental to legitimate interest of the auditee. This concept includes the proper handling of the sensitive or confidential information. Next is independence, means the bias free, the impartial of the auditee and objectivity of the audit conclusions. Independence means you are looking at a process and you doing the audits of same process, that in case of small organization it may not be possible for internal auditors to be fully independent of the activity being audited, but very effort should be made to remove bias and encourage objectively, means we should make an effort that should be biased, means should be unbiased. And next is in case of large organization, auditors should maintain objectively throughout the audit process to ensure that the audit finding and conclusion are based only on the audit evidences and auditor should be independent of the activity being audited wherever practicable, and should in all cases act in manner that is free from function being audited if practicable. In case of large organization or in small organization, we should make effort to make it unbiased. Next is evidence-based approach, means the rational method for reaching reliable and reproducible audit conclusion in a systematic audit process, means it should be in database or evidence based. Next is risk based approach, that is an audit approach that consider risk and opportunity both. Risk approach based approach should substantively influences the planning, conducting and reporting of audit in order to ensure that audits are focused on matters that are significant for the audit clients and achieving an audit objectives. Next clause is managing an audit program. First, in fifth class, subclause is fifth one, that is general requirement of managing an audit program. Means an audit program should be established which can include audit addressing one or more management system standard or other requirement conducted either separately or in combination, that is combined audit. And next is that is in extent of audit program should be based on the size and nature of the auditee as well as nature, functionality, complexity and type of risk and opportunity, level of maturity of the management system to be. Next is in case of multiple location site, that is different countries or where important functions are outsourced or managed under the leadership of another organization, particularly attention should be paid to design, planning, validation of audit program. And in case of smaller or less complex organization, the audit program can be scaled appropriately. And next is the audit priority should be given allocating resources and method to matter, means we should focus on how to allocate the resources. And next is competency, individual management should be assigned to manage the audit program. These are the some information that required during the audit program. That is first is objectives of the audit program, risk and opportunity and scopes and schedules, audit types, internal, external and audit criteria and audit method to be employed and criteria for selecting audit team members, relevant documented information. Next is this is the flow chart for managing of an audit program. Second clause is 5.2, that is establishing audit program objective. Stabilizing audit program objective, the audit client should ensure that the audit program objective are established to direct the planning and conducting of audit, should ensure the audit program is implemented effectively. An audit program objectively should be consistent with the audit client strategic direction and support management system policy and objectives. These objectives can be considered one of the following: need and expectations of relevant interested parties, characteristic and requirement of process, product, service and projects. And next is management system requirement, need for evaluation of external provider, auditees, level of performance, level of maturity, and identifies risk and opportunity of the auditee, results of previous results. And next is identify opportunity for improvement of management system, and like evaluate the capability of the auditee to determine its context, evaluate the capability of the auditee to determine risk and opportunity, conformity of all relevant requirement, regulatory requirement of certifications, obtain and maintain a confidence in capability of external provider. Next is determining the continuing suitability, adequacy of effectiveness of the auditee management system, evaluate the compatibility and alignment of management system objectively with strategic direction of the organization. Next is determining and evaluating audit program risk and opportunity. What are the risk and opportunity we should need to determine and evaluate during the audit program? There are some risk and opportunity related to context of the auditee that can be associated with audit program that can affect the achievement of its objective. These are the some risk associated, that is planning, and next is related to resources, next is selecting of audit team, and next is communication, that is internal communication and external communication, and next is that is related to implementations and control of documented informations and monitoring, reviewing and improving the audit programs, and availability and cooperation of auditee and availability of evidence to be sample. These. Next is opportunity. What are the opportunity during the audit programs? That is allowing multiple audits to be conducted into a single visit, minimizing the time and distance traveling to site, and matching the level of competency of audit team to the level of competency needed to achieve the audit objectives. Next is aligning audit dates with the availability of the auditee's key staff. These are the opportunities. Next is subclass is 5.4, that is stabilizing the audit program. Now in 5.4 subclass is 5.4.1, that is roles and responsibility of individual managing the audit programs. What are the roles and responsibilities? The roles and responsibility of the individual managing the audit program should establish the extent of the audit program according to relevant objectives, and determining the external and internal issues, risks and opportunities, and ensuring the selection of audit teams of overall competency of the auditing activity by assigning role, responsibility and authority, and supporting leaders as appropriate. Next is role responsibility of individuals managing the audit program is establish all relevant process, including process for the coordination scheduling of the all audits within the audit program. And next is establishing of external internal communication, resources of deputies, audit follow-up, reporting of audit clients, and coordination and scheduling of all audits, audit objectives. Next is determining the and ensure provision of all necessary resources. And next is role and responsibility of individual managing audit program is ensure that appropriate documented information is prepared and maintained. And next is monitor and review of improve the audit program. Next is communicate the audit program to audit clients as appropriate relevant interested parties. And next role and responsibility is the individual managing the audit program should request his approval by the audit clients. Next subclass is 5.4.2, that is competency of individual managing audit program. What are the competencies? The first competency of individual managing the audit program is audit principles and audit management systems. And next is information regarding the auditee and its context. Next is the applicable statutory and regulatory requirement and other requirements. Next subclass is 5.4.3, that is stabilizing the extent of audit program. Extent is like the objective, scope, duration of each audit, number of audit to be conducted, reporting method, and management system standard and other applicable standard criteria, numbers, importance, complexity and similarities, locations of activities to be audited. Those factors that influencing the effectiveness of management system, applicable audit criteria, and results of previous internal or external audits, and results of previous audit program review, language, culture and social issues. Next is significant changes to audit context and availability of information and communication technology to support audit activities, occurrence of external and internal events such as non-conformity of product or services, information securities and health and safety incident, criminal acts, environmental incident, business risk and opportunity. These are the things. Next is 5.4.4, that is next class, that is determining audit program resources. What resources we need to determine? When determining resources of audit program, the individual managing the audit program should consider the financial resources and time resources, audit methods, individual and overall availability of auditor and technical experts, extent of the audit program risk and opportunity, travel time, cost, accommodations and other auditing needs. Next is the impact of different time zones, availability of information and communication technology, and Next is the availability of any tool, technology, equipment, availability of necessary documented information, and require related to facility, including any security clearance or equipment. Next is clause is 5.5, that is implementing audit program, and sub clause is 5.5.1, that is general requirement of implementing audit program. What are the general requirements? Once the audit program has been established and related resources has been identified and determined, it is necessary to implement the operational planning and coordination of the activity within the program. The individual managing the audit program should implement the audit program should consider the following things. First is communicate the relevant parts of the audit program, including the risk and opportunity and relevant interested parties and information from previously of its progress. Next is defined objective, scope and criteria of individual audit, selecting audit method, coordinating, scheduling audits, and ensure the audit teams have the necessary competence, provide necessary individual, and ensure the conduct of audit in accordance with audit program. And next is ensure relevant documented information, define the and implement the operational control necessary for audit program method, review the audit program in order to identify opportunity for its improvement. Next clause is 5.5.2, that is defining the objective, scope and criteria for an individual audit. What are the objective, scope and criteria? The audit objective defined what is the accomplished by the individual audit may be included the following. One is determining of the extent of the conformity of management system, evaluating the capability of management system, and next is evaluating the effectiveness of management system. Next is identification of opportunity, evaluation of suitability, adequacy of management system, evaluation of capabilities. Next is 5.5.2, that is defining the objective, scope and criteria for individual, that the event of any changes to the audit objective, scope, criteria to the audit program should be modified if necessary. Communication to interested parties or approval is appropriate. Next is selecting and determining audit method. What method we are done during the audits, we need to select and determine. Next is selecting audit team members, that is 5.5.4, that is what audit team members we are selecting. The individual managing the audit program should appoint the members of the audit team, including the audit team leader, any technical expert needed for the specific audit that we need to select. To assure the overall competency of audit team, the following steps should be performed. Identification of the competency needed to achieve objective of the audit, selection of the audit team members so that necessary competency is present in the audit team. Next is in deciding the size and composition of the audit team for the specific audit, consideration should be as like overall competency of the audit team and complexity of the audit, whether the audit is combined or joint, selected audit team method, ensuring objective impartiality to avoid any conflicts of interest, ability of the audit team members to work and interact, and the relevant external and internal issues, and language of the audits, auditee social cultural characteristic, this should be considered. Next is type and complexity of the process to be audited, that also should be considered during the selecting audit team members. Next is selecting audit team member. Next requirement is audit in training may be included in audit team but should participate under the direction and guidance of an auditor. That is the also important factors. Next is next clause is 5.5.5, that is 5.5.5, that is assigning responsibility for an individual audit to be to the audit team leader. Means responsibility for an individual audit, that to the audit team leaders. The individual managing the audit program should assign the responsibility for conducting the individual audit to the audit team leader. What are the responsibilities assigned? To ensure effective conduct of individual audit, the following information should provide to audit team leader. Audit objective, audit criteria, any relevant documented information, audit scope, including identification of the organization, its function and processes to be audited. Next is audit process and associated method, composition, audit team, and next is contact detail of the auditee, location, time frame, and resource needed necessary to conduct the audit, information needed for evaluation and addressing identified risk and opportunity to achieve audit objective. Next is information which support the audit team leader in their interactions with the auditee for the effective of the audit program. Next is the assignment information should also cover the following, like working and reporting languages of the audit, where this is different from language of auditor and auditee are both. Audit reporting output as required and to whom it is to be distributed. Matters related to confidentiality and information security as required by the audit program. Any health and safety environment arrangement for the auditor. Requirement for travel or access to remote site. Next is any security and authorization requirement, any action to review or follow up from the previous audit, coordination or other audit activity. Where a joint audit is conducted, it is important to reach agreement among the organization conducting the audit before the audit commences on the specific responsibility of each party, particularly with regard to authority of the team leader appointed for the audit. Next is managing an audit program result, that is 556. That is managing an audit program's results. The individual managing the audit program should ensure the following activity are performed or not. Evaluation of the achievement of the objective for each audit within the audit program. Review the approval of the audit reports regarding fulfillment of audit scope and objective. Review the effectiveness of the action taken to address the audit findings and distribution of audit report to relevant interested party. Determinations of the necessity for any follow-up audit, and some individual that managing the audit program should also consider where appropriate communication the audit result, best practices, other area of the organization and implications of the other processes. Next clause is 557, that is managing and maintaining audit programs records. And first is a record related to audit programs such as schedule of audit like record related to audit program like schedule of audit program, addressing audit program risk and opportunity, external and internal issues, and review of audit program effectiveness. That is record related to audit program. Next is record related to each audit, that is audit plan, objective, scope, non-conformity report, correction, corrective action, and audit follow. Next is record related to audit team covering topics such as competency and performance evaluation of the audit team member, criteria for the selection of audit team members, and maintaining and improvement of the competencies. Next clause is 5.6, that is monitoring audit program. How to monitor audit program? The individual managing the audit program should ensure the evaluation of whether schedule are being met, audit program objective are being achieved or not, the performance of the audit team members including audit team leaders also and technical expert, and the ability of the audit teams to implement the audit plan, feedback from audit clients, auditors, technical expert, and other relevant parties. Sufficient and adequate documented information, whole audit process. Next is some factor also indicate the need to modify the audit program, like that is audit funding, demonstrate level of auditees agreement, management system, effectiveness, maturity, effectiveness of audit program, audit scope, audit management system, standard, external provider, identified conflict of interest. Next is 5.7, that is reviewing the and improving audit program. How to review and improve? The individual managing the audit program should ensure the following: review of overall implementation of audit program, identification of area and opportunity for improvement, application of the changes to audit programs, review of the continual professional development of auditors in accordance, reporting of the results of audit program, and review with the audit clients. Next is audit program should also consider the following results and trends from audit program monitoring and conformity with audit program processes, relevant documented information, evolving needs and expectations of related interested party, audit program records, alternative or new audit methods. Alternatives are new methods to evaluate auditors, effectiveness of the action to address risk and opportunity, confidentiality and information security issues related to audit program. These need to review and improve during the audit program. Next is conducting an audit. Class number 6, that is conducting audit. How to conduct an audit. Conducting an audit program. General requirement is given in 6.1 that this clause contains guidance on preparing and conducting a specific audit as a part of audit program. Next requirement, initiating an audit. That subclause is 6.2.1, that is general requirement of initiating an audit. The responsibility for conducting the audit should remain with assigned audit team leader until the audit is completed. Next is actually requirement is initiating an audit is already given in figure 1, that is given in 5th class, that is figure 1, should be considered. However, the sequence can differ depending on the audit process and specific circumstances of the audits. Next is 6.2.2, that is stabilizing contract with auditee. What are the contract we should make with auditee and how we can stabilize it? The audit team leader should ensure that the contact is made with the auditee to confirm communication channels with the auditee's representatives and confirm the audit authority to conduct the audit and provide relevant information on the audit objective, scope, criteria, method, audit team composition. Like any technical expert, request access to relevant information for planning purpose, including information of risk and opportunity that organization has identified. Next is determining the applicable statutory regulatory requirements, and next is confirm the agreement with the auditee regarding the extent of the disclosure and treatment of confidential information, make arrangement for audit including the schedules, determining any location specific arrangement for access, health and safety, security, confidentiality or others, agree on attendance of the observer and the need for guidance and interpreters for the auditee, determine any area of interest, concern or risk to the auditee. Next is determining feasibility of audit. What are the feasibility of audit? How we can do it? The feasibility of audit should be determined to provide reasonable confidence that the audit objective can be achieved. The determination of feasibility should take into the consideration factors such as availability of the following, that is sufficient and appropriate information for planning and conducting an audit, adequate cooperation from the auditee, and adequate time and resources for conducting the audits. Next is performing review of documented information, that is subclass of 6.3.1, that is 6.3.1. What are the performing review of documented information? Relevant management system documented information of auditee should be reviewed in order to gather information to understand the auditee operation and prepare audit activity and applicable audit work related documentations. And next is establish an overview of extent of documented information to determine possibility of conformity to audit criteria and detect possible area of concern such as deficiency, omissions or conflict. Next is documented information should include but not limited to management system documented information approach and records as well as previous audit reports. Next is audit planning 6.3.2. In audit planning, and subclass is 6.3.2.1, that is risk based approach to planning. In audit planning, we should consider the risk of the audit activity on the auditee's process and provide the basis for agreement among the audit client, audit team and auditee regarding the conduct of the audits. Planning should facilitate the efficient scheduling and coordination of the audit activity in order to achieve the objective effectively. Next is risk-based approaches following should be considered in planning the audits. The audit team leader should consider the following: the composition of the audit team leader, overall competencies, appropriate sampling technique, opportunity to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of audit activities, risk to achieving the audit objectives, and risk to auditee created by performing the audits. And next is risk to auditee can result from presence of the audit team members adversely influences the auditee's arrangement for health and safety, environment, quality, product, services, person and infrastructure. This can be risk. This can be adversely influences. For combined audits, particularly attention should be given for the interaction between operational process, any competing objective priorities of the different management systems. Next class is 6322, that is audit planning details. In audit planning details, audit planning should address or reference the following: the audit objective, scope, identification of organization, function as well as process, audit criteria, location, duration of audit, need for audit team, and the audit method to be used, audit and the roles and responsibility of the team members, the location of appropriate resources based on consideration of risk and opportunity related to activity that are to be audited. Next is audit planning should also take into account as appropriate, that is the identification of auditees representative for the audit, the audit report topics, the working and reporting languages, logistic and communication arrangement, and any specific action to take and address risk and opportunity, audit objectives and for arising opportunities, matters related to confidentiality and information security, any follow-up action from previous audit or other sources, any follow-up activities to the planned audits, and coordination with other audit activities in case of joint audit. Next is 633, that is assigning work to audit team. What task we are going to assign to audit team, that is given in this class. That audit team meetings should be held as appropriate by the audit team leader in order to allocate work assignment and decide possibilities changes to work assignment can be made as the audit progresses in order to ensure that achievement of the audit objectives. And audit planning details should be presented to auditee. Any issues with the audit plan should be resolved between the audit team leader and auditee, if necessary, individual managing the audit program. Next is 633, that is assigning work to audit team, that is already discussed. Next is preparing documented information for audit. What document we need to prepare? Assigning work related to audit team, we need to make a meetings and we conduct a meeting held appropriate as appropriate and by audit team leaders, and in order to allocate work assignment and decide the possible changes, if any. Next is preparing documented information for audit, like physical or digital checklist, audit sampling checklist, and like audio visual information. These we need to prepare. Next is conducting audit activities. This sub requirement is 641, general requirement, that are conducting a audit activity. Audit activity are normally conducted in defined in sequence as indicated in figure 1, that is in 5th class. But 642, that is assigning role responsibility of guidance and observer. What are the role and responsibility of guides and observer? Guides and observer may accompany the audit team with the approvals from the audit team leader and audit client or auditee if required. They should not influence or interface with the conduct the audit. If this cannot be assured, the audit team leader should have the right to deny observers from being present during certain audit activities. For observer, any arrangement for access, health and safety, environmental security and confidentiality should be managed between the audit client and auditee. Next is 642, that assigning role and responsibility of guides and observers. Guides that appointed by the auditee should assist the audit team and act on the request of the audit team leader or the auditor which they have been assigned. Their responsibility of guide are assisting the auditors in identifying individual to participate in interview and confirming timing and locations. Next is arranging access to specific location of the auditee. Guide role and responsibilities are next is ensuring that rules concerning location specific arrangement. Next is witness of the audit on behalf of auditee when appropriate, and providing clarification, assisting or collecting information when needed. Next is conducting opening meetings. 643, how to conduct opening meeting. The purpose of opening meeting is to confirm the arrangement of all participant audit team to the audit plan, introduce the audit team and their roles, ensure that all planned audit activities can be performed. Degree of detail should be consist with the familiarities of the auditee and the audit processes. Conducting an opening meeting for other situation, the meeting may be formal and records of attendance should be retained. The meeting should be chaired by audit team leaders. Introduction of the following should be considered, that is other participants including observer, guides or interpreters, and outline of their roles. The audit method to manage risk toward the organization which may results from presence of the audit team members. Next is confirmation of the following items should be considered as appropriate during the opening meetings. That audit objective, audit scope, criteria, audit plans, other relevant arrangement with the auditees, and formal communication channel between the audit team and the auditees, and the language to be during the audit, and audit being kept information of the audit program. This should be discussed. The availability of the resources and facility needed by the audit team, and the many matters related to the confidentiality and information security. This need to discuss in opening meeting. Next is activity and site that can impact the conduct of the audit. The presentation of information on the following items should be considered in opening meeting. Method of reporting audit finding, including audit criteria for grading if any, like major, minor, NCs, and how to close the major observations, non-conformities, how to close the minor observation, and what are their closing days. This should be considered, and what are the conditions for the major non-conformity, and what are the minor non-conformities, and what are the positive observations. Next is condition under which audit may be terminated, and how to deal with possible finding during the audit, any system or feedback from the auditee on finding or conclusion of the audits, including complaints or appeals. And next clause is 644, that is communicating during the audit. What are the communication channel, or how to communicate? During the audit, it may be necessary to make a formal arrangement of communication between the audit team as well as with the auditee, the audit client, and potential with the external interested parties. That is especially where statutory regulatory requirement require mandatory reporting of non-conformity. We need to communicate during the audit. The communication should be necessary during the audit. The audit team should confirm periodically to exchange information, assess the audit progress, reassigning work between the audit team leaders members as needed. During the audit team leaders should periodically communicate the progress, any significant finding, or any concern to auditee and audit client as appropriate. Next is evidence collecting during the audit team that suggests an immediate and significant risk should be reported without delay to the auditee and appropriate to the audit clients also. Any concern about an issue outside the audit scope should be noted and reported to the audit team leader, possible for communication to audit clients and auditee. Where the available audit evidences indicate the audit objectives are unattainable, the audit team leader should report the reason to audit clients and auditee to determine the appropriate action. Such action may be needed to manage the audit planning, audit objective, or scope, and termination of the audit. Next is any need for changes to the audit plan which may be become apparent as auditing activity progress should be reviewed and accepted. Next class is 645, that is audit information availability on access. The audit method chosen for an audit depend on the defined audit objective, scope and criteria as well as duration and allocation. The location where the information needed for the specific audit activity is available to the audit team. This may include physical or virtual location. And where and when how to access audit information is crucial to the audit. Next is this is independent where information is created, used or stored. Based on these issues, the audit method should determine, and the audit can use a mixture of method. Also, audit circumstances may need that the method need to change during the audit. Next is 646, that is reviewing the documented information while conducting audit. While conducting audit, we need to review the documented information. The auditee's relevant documented information should be reviewed. Determine the conformity of the system as far as documented with the audit criteria. Gather information to support the audit activities. Next is that review may be combined with other audit activity and may continue throughout the audit. Providing this is not determined to effectiveness of conduct an audit. If adequate documented information cannot be provided within the time frame given the audit plan, the audit team leader should inform both the individual managing the audit program and auditee both. Depending on the audit objective and scope, a decision should be made as whether the audit should be continued or suspended until the documented information concerns are resolved. Next is 647, that is collecting and verifying information. During the audit, information relevant to audit objective, scope, criteria, including information related to interference between the functions activity process should be collected by means of appropriate sampling and should be verified as far as practical. These are the flow to provide an overview of typical process for collecting information to reaching audit conclusion. This is sources of information collecting by means of appropriate sampling, audit evidences, reviewing against the audit criteria, audit findings, reviewing and audit conclusion. These are the flow chart. Next is collecting and verifying information. The method is interviews, observations or by review of documented information. These are the collecting and verifying information methods. Next is generating audit finding. How to generate the audit finding? Audit evidences should be evaluated against the audit criteria in order to determine audit finding. Finding can indicate conformity or non-conformity with audit criteria. When specified by the audit plan, individual audit findings should include conformity and good practices along with their supporting evidences, opportunity for improvement and any recommendations to the auditors. Next is generating audit findings. Now we are going to discuss about generating an audit finding, that is 648. Non-conformity and their supporting audit evidences should be recorded. Non-conformity can be graded depending on the context of the organization and its risk. Like the grading can be quantitative, that is 1 to 5, or qualitative, that is minor NCs or major NCs. They should be reviewed with the auditee in order to obtain acknowledgement that the audit evidences is accurate and non-conformity are understood. Every attempt should be made to resolve any undiverging opinions concerning the audit evidence or finding. Unresolved issues should be recorded in the audit reports. The audit team should be meet as needed to review the audit finding and at appropriate stages during the audits. Next is is a note regarding the generating and audit finding. Conformity or non-conformity with audit criteria related to statutory or regulatory requirements or other requirement is sometimes referred as compliance or non-compliance. Next is 649, that is determining audit conclusions. The subclause is 6491, that is preparing or closing meeting. How to prepare or for closing meeting. The audit team should confirm prior to closing meeting in order to review the audit findings, any appropriate information collected during the audit, again the audit objectives, and agree on audit conclusion. Prepare the recommendations if specified the audit plan. Discuss audit follow-up as applicable. Next is audit conclusions. Content of audit conclusions. What are the content? Audit conclusions should address issues such as the following: the extent of conformity with the audit criteria and robustness of the management system, including effectiveness of management system in meetings, and identification of risk and opportunity or effectiveness of action taken by the auditee to address risk. And second is effective implementation and maintenance and improvement of the management system. Third is achievement of audit objectives, coverage of audit scope, and fulfillment of audit criteria. Content of audit conclusion. And fourth is similar finding made in different area that were audited or found or previous audit for the purpose of identifying trends. Next is conducting closing meeting. Now 6.4.10 that explain about the conducting and closing meeting. A closing meeting should be held to present the audit finding and conclusion. These closing meetings should be chaired by the audit team leader and attended by the management of the auditee, and including as applicable those who are responsible for function and processes which have been audited, and audit clients, other member of the audit team, other relevant interested parties are determined by the audit clients or auditees. Next is if applicable, the audit team leader should advise the auditee of situation encountered during the audit that may decrease the confidence that can be placed in the audit conclusion. If defined in the management system or by arrangement with the audit client, the participants should agree on the time frame for an action plan to address audit finding. In conducting and closing meeting, the degree of detail should take into account the effectiveness of management system in achieving the audit's objectives, and including the consideration of extent, context, and risk and opportunity. In closing meeting, the familiarities of the auditees with the audit process should also be taken into consideration during the closing meeting. Ensure the correct level of the details is provided to the participants. In closing meeting, for some time, some audit situations, the meetings can be formal and minutes, and including record of attendance should be kept. That is, internal audits closing meeting can be less formal. As appropriate, the following should be explained to the auditee in the closing meeting. First is advising that audit evidences collected was based on the sample of information available and not necessarily fully representative of overall effectiveness of the auditee process. Method of reporting: how to audit findings should be addressed based on agreed processes. Next is possibilities, consequences of not adequately addressing the audit findings, presentations and of the audit finding, conclusions, and any related post activities, and any diverging opinions regarding the audit finding or conclusion between the audit team and auditees should be discussed and resolved. If not resolved, it should be recorded. Next is 6.5, that is preparing and distributing audit report. At closing meeting is done. Now we should prepare the report and distribute the audit report. First is 6.5.1, that is preparing audit report. During the preparation of audit report, the audit conclusion in accordance with audit program, the audit report should provide a complete, accurate, concise, and clear record of the audit. that included the following: audit objectives, audit scope, and organizations and functions or processes that audited are identification of the audit clients, identification of team, auditees, participants to the audits, and dates and location where audit activities is done, and audit criteria, audit findings, and audit conclusion, statement on degree to which audit criteria have fulfillment, audit nature by sampling or exercise, and any unresolved diverging opinion between the audit team and auditees. Next is the audit report should also include the audit plan, including time schedules, a summary of the audit processes, including any obstacles, confirmation that audit objective had been achieved within the audit scope, any area within the audit scope not covered, including any issues of availability of evidence, resource, or confidentiality with related justification. Next is a summary covering the audit conclusion, good practices identified, agreed action plan follow-up if any, statement of the confidential natural of the content, and any implications of the audit program or subsequent audits. Next is distributing audit report 652. Now we are preparing the audit report. Now we can distribute the audit report. How? The audit report should be issued within an agreed period of time. If it is delayed, the reason should be communicated to the auditee and the individual that managing the audit program. Audit report should be dated, reviewed, accepted, and as appropriate in accordance with the audit program. Audit report should include distributed to the relevant interested party defined in audit program or audit plan. When distributing audit reports, appropriate measure to ensure confidentiality should be considered. Next is completing audit. That is 6.6. Completing audit. The audit is completed when all planned audit activity have been carried out, like or otherwise agreed with the audit clients. Documented information pertaining to the audit should be retained and disposed by the agreement between the participating parties and in accordance with the audit program and applicable requirements. Unless required by law, an audit team and individual managing the audit program should not disclose any information obtained during the audit or the audit report or to any other party without split appeal of the audit client. Where appropriate, the approval of the auditee. If disclosure of the content of the audit document is required, the audit clients and auditee should be informed as soon as possible. Lesson learned from the audit can identify risk and opportunity for audit program to the auditee. Next is 6.7, that is conducting audit follow. After completing audit report, we need to, next step is conducting audit follow, means follow up the audit. Like outcome of the audits can depend on the audit objective, indicating the need for correction or corrective action or opportunity for improvement. Such actions are usually decided and undertaken by the auditee within an agreed time frame. As appropriate, the auditee should keep the individual managing audit program and audit team informed of the status of those actions. Means conducting audit follow-up. These time frames should be discussed. The completion and effectiveness of these actions should be verified. This verification may be part of subsequent audit. Outcomes should be reported to individual managing the audit program and reported to audit client for managing review. Next is competence and evaluations of auditors, class number 7. What are the competency and evaluation criteria of an auditor? Competency and evaluation of auditors. This general requirement is persons who are performing the audits and involving in audits, performing audits, including auditors and auditee team leaders. Both competencies should be evaluated regularly through a process that considers the personal behavior, ability to apply the knowledge and skill gained throughout the education and work experience, that auditor training and audit experiences. Next is, this process should be taken into consideration the needs of the audit programs and its objectives. knowledge and skill described in 723 are common to auditors of any managing the system disciplines. There are the evaluation process should include the main steps like determining the required competency to fulfillment the audit program, stabilizing the evaluation criteria, select the appropriate evaluation method, and conduct the evaluation. Next is the outcome of evaluation process should be considered the following: selecting an audit team members, determining need for improved competency, and ongoing performance of evaluation of auditors. Next is clause is 7.2, that is determining auditor competency. That is 7.2.1, general requirement of determining auditor competencies. In deciding the necessary competency for an audit, an auditor knowledge and skill related to following should be considered: the size, nature, complexity, and product services process of the auditees, and the method of the auditing, the management system disciplines to be audited, complexity of the process of the management system to be audited, and the type and level of the risk and opportunity addressing by the management system, the objective and extent of the audit program, and the uncertainty in achieving audit objective. Other requirements such as those imposed by the audit client or other relevant interested party. Next clause is 7.2.2, that is personal behavior. Auditors should possess the necessary attribute to enable them to act in accordance with the principles of auditing as described in clause number 4, that is principles of auditing management system. And during auditors should exhibit personal behavior during the performance of audit activities that describe personal behavior, professional behavior, including being ethical, that personal behavior and professional behavior. This desired professional behavior is ethical, open-minded, diplomatic, observant, and perceptive, versatile, and tentacious. Tentacious means that is ability to readily adapt the different situations, and versatile, that is adapt to different situations. Tenacious means persist and focus on achieving objective. Decisive means that is able to reach timely conclusions. And self-reliance means able and to act and function independent while interacting effectively with others. Next is able to act with fortitude. Next is open to improvement and cultural sensitivity. Next is 7.2.3. Next clause is 7.2.3, knowledge and skills. That general requirement is 7.2.3.1, that is general requirement of knowledge and skill. Auditors should possess the knowledge and skill necessary to achieve the intended result of audit. They are expected to perform generic competency and level of discipline and sector specific knowledge and skill. Audit team leaders should have the additional knowledge and skill necessary to provide leadership. Next is 7.3.2.3.2, that is generic knowledge and skill of management system auditors. What are the generic knowledge and skill? That is audit principle, process, method, and next is prioritizing and focus on matters of significance. First is generic knowledge and standard, that is audit principle, processes, and method. That is knowledge and skill in this area enable the auditor to ensure audit are performed in consistent and systematic manner. Means audit principle, what are the audit principle, what are the process and method. Second is that is management system standard and other references. That is knowledge and skill in this area enable the auditor to understand the audit scope, audit criteria. That is management system standard and other references. And third generic knowledge is that is organization and its context. What are the organization and what are its context. Next is fourth requirement, generic requirement is applicable statutory and regulatory requirement. These are the four generic knowledge and skill should be required in managing and management system by auditors. Conducting an audit, that auditor should have these generic knowledge. That first is audit principles, processes and method, and second is managing systems, management system, standard requirement and other references. Next is organization and its context, and fourth is applicable statutory and regulatory requirement and other requirement, that is legal requirement. Next class is 7233, that is discipline and sector specific competency of auditor. These are the requirements. First is auditor team should have the collective discipline and sector specific competency, that is managing system requirement and principles, they are applicable, fundamental of the disciplines and sector related to the management system standard are applied by the auditee. And next is application of discipline and sector specific method, technique, process, practices. Next is 7234, that is generic competency of audit team leader. Now this is not for auditor, audit team leaders, that is lead auditors. What are the generic competency? First is, in order to facilitate the efficient and effective conduct of an audit, an audit team leader should have the competencies. First is plan the audit and assign audit tasks according to the specific competency of individual team members. Discuss strategic issue with top management of the auditees to determine whether they have considered these issues and relevant their risk and opportunity, evaluating risk and opportunity. Next is develop and maintain a collaborative working relationship among the audit team members and managing the audit processes, including making effective use of the resources during the audit, managing uncertainty of the achieving audit objectives, and protecting the health and safety of audit team members, and directing the audit team members and providing direction and guidance. Next is preventing and resolving conflicts and problem that can occur during the audits. Next is represent the audit team in communicating with the individual, managing the audit program. These are the generic competency. First is plan the audit and assign audit task according to the specific competency of individual audit team member. Second is discuss strategic issues with top management of the auditee. Third is develop and maintain collaborative working relationship among the audit team members. And fourth is represent the audit team in communication with individuals, managing the audit programs. Now next class is 7235, that is knowledge and skill for auditing multiple disciplines. What are the knowledge, what are the skills? 7235, that is knowledge and skill for auditing multiple disciplines. Multiple disciplines mean multiple management systems. When auditing multiple disciplines management system, the audit team members should have understanding of the interactions and synergy between the different management systems. Audit team leader should understand the requirement of each of the management system standard being audited. And audit of the multiple discipline systems done simultaneously can be done as the combined audit or an audit of the integrated management system that covered all multiple disciplines requirements. Next is achieving audit competencies. Achieving audit competencies is auditor's competency can be acquired using a combination of the following. How can achieve auditor's competencies? First is successfully completion of training programs that cover generic auditor's knowledge and skill, experience in relevant technical, managerial, professional position involving exercisement of judgment, decision making, problem solving, communication with manager, professional, peer, customer, other relevant interested party. Next is education and training and experience in specific management system, discipline and sector specific. Next is audit experience acquired under the supervision of an auditor competent in the same discipline. Next clause is achieving auditor's competencies. Its note is successfully completion of training courses will depend on type of courses. For courses with the examination of component, it can mean successfully passing the examinations. For other courses, it can mean participation in the completion of the courses. Means sector specific should be passed. Next is achieving audit team leader competency. Means that was the auditor, how to achieve their competency. Now audit team leaders competency, how to achieve. 7 to 5. And an audit team leader should have acquired additional audit experience to develop the competency described in 7234 that already discussed. This additional experience should have been gained by working under the direction and guidance of the different audit team leaders. And next is stabilizing auditor evaluation criteria. How to stabilizing the auditor evaluation criteria? The evaluation criteria be qualitative, that is desired behavior, knowledge, performance of skills, training and workplace. And second is quantitative, that is number of years of experience, education, number of audit conducted and hours of audit trainings. These are. Next is 7.4, that is selecting appropriate auditor evaluation method. What are the appropriate auditor evaluation method? First is the method outline represent a range of options and may not apply in all situations. Second is the various method outline may differ in their reliability. A combination of methods should be used to ensure an outcome of an objective consist fair and reliable. Next is these are the some selecting appropriate auditor's evaluation method. First is review of record, means to verify the background of the auditors. Second is feedback. The feedback provided information about how to perform the auditors is perceived. Next is interview to evaluate desired professional behavior and communication skills, and with verify the information and test knowledge and acquire additional information. Observation to evaluate desired professional behavior, ability to apply knowledge and skills. Testing, post audit review. These are the methods, evaluation method. Next is conducting auditor evaluation. Now auditor evaluation, how we can conduct. The information collecting about the auditors under evaluation should be compared against the criteria set in 723 as explained. When an auditor under evaluation who is expecting to participate in audit program does not fulfill the criteria, then additional training and work or audit experience should be undertaken and subsequent re-evaluation should be performed. Next clause is 7.6, that is maintaining and improving auditors' competency. How we can maintain and improve auditors' competency? Auditors and auditee team leaders should continuously improve their competency. Auditors should maintain their auditing competency through regular participation in management system audits and continual professional development. Next, this may be achieved through means such as additional work experience, training, evaluate study, coaching, attendance at meeting and seminars and conferences and other relevant activities. Next is managing and improving auditors' competency. Next requirement is the individual managing the audit program should establish suitable mechanism of the continual evaluation of the performance of the auditors and audit team leaders. The continual professional development activities should also take into account the following: changes in the need of individual and organization responsibility for conducting audit, developments in the practice of auditing including the use of the technology, relevant standard including guidance and supporting document, other requirement, changes in sector or discipline. What are the changes done in sectors or discipline that we need to maintain and improve auditors' competencies? This was the about ISO 19011 Please, if content are informative, please like and share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.